That's what I have as my ringtone.
And now it's
Norn
5:15, and we are here introducing the podcast number 2 from alttabme.com. I was waiting for like cheering. I gotta put like clap boxes in.
Well, if you're gonna do that, then you should just put the music in too.
Whatever, dude.
Right.
Well, I can't because I kind of just fucked that up. Although I could like transition. All right, whatever. We'll just. So today we are going to be focusing on what to do when release comes, because as we all know, a couple of days ago, ArenaNet announced the release date for Guild Wars 2. Woo!
Yeah.
So, as I know, I am excited. These guys are excited. Our guild is excited, which is Arcanix, and you can apply it alttabme.com. Which I do want to take a little second here. We plugged the shit out of Arcanix in the last Guildcast, and I wanted to say thank you for applying to those that did. Congratulations to those that got accepted. Please, though, we're growing short on slots. We don't want to grow beyond our own capabilities, so you know we have a limit. What that limit is between me and the other officers, but know that we're getting close to it, and what we want to make sure that you know is that when you apply, make sure your application counts. You know, typing an entire thing out in gibberish probably won't get you in the guild. It'll make us some fun laughter for us. I mean, these guys know.
Be thorough. Yeah, be thorough, be clear, and entertain us too, because we're kind of sick of reading some boring apps, and we're starting to get angry that
We're getting really picky.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to know
we're-
about like I used to work on this job at this place. I don't care. Just tell me why you're going to be fun and play Guild Wars 2. We're playing video games. We're not applying for a crazy job.
It's not it's not really a resume, yeah. So
It's a gaming resume.
It is kind
Yes.
of. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And also
really
understand that the 4 of us are kind of like, American Idol. Yeah.
Fantastic Four?
So no, it's more like American Idol +1. So when you apply, we're probably
Gotcha.
going to give you shit for what you write, no matter what.
Yeah. And if you're really bad,
Oh yeah, if you're bad, we're Simon Cowling you out of this motherfucker. So just
Exactly.
I'm definitely the nice one, though. I
Yeah,
love everyone.
Okay, Paul Abdul.
Oh yeah, he cries when you write nice things to us. He's like, oh god, it was such a good application. I need a moment.
His vagina's always dry. It's okay.
Commercial break.
Yeah.
Don't. Okay. Second order of business before we begin is that we have 2 beta keys to give out. This will be beta keys for the last beta weekend event, number 3, which I believe is
July 20th. The weekend of the July 20th.
weekend of July 20th, and they will work. According to the information on them, I'm going to read it so I don't get it wrong. They will include everything, the beta, the head start, the bonus items, and need to be activated by retail codes within 5 days of launch. Meaning that you can use these for beta weekend 3, and if you like it and you buy the game, you then get the head start, the bonus items, etc. So we
Pretty
will
cool.
tell you more about how you can win those somewhere along the lines of this podcast. So if you listen, you
Tease.
could win. Probably at the end, just for people that really hate waiting. Anyway. So, topic
I
for
hate
today.
surprises.
Right? Well, what? I have to listen to the whole thing to get there. All right, whatever. Just skip to, fucking 1 hour and 20 minutes in, you got it. Done. But yes, so today's topic is what to do when it releases. So I'm just going to open it up. Fuck any bullet points we have. Ooh, I already said the drink. Anyway.
We apologize for the people that asked for censorship. We trying. We are trying.
I did try. I made it about 10
Yeah.
seconds in.
Yeah.
That was a really good
It's a
effort.
little rough, yeah.
He finished the
I don't
whole
really have a
rant
filter.
before
I
he
did. I
started
talked
to
about
effort.
two
effort.
things before I cursed.
It's improvement. It's improvement.
Come on, in New York.
No, and those playing at home, I am joining in. So
Nice. All right.
Yeah,
so I'm actually just gonna open it up right now. We'll start with John, for instance. What are you going to do when the game is released? What's the first thing you're gonna do?
Probably spend a couple of hours in the character creation screen for Sylvari, since we haven't seen that yet,
yeah.
and that's the race I'm going to play. So probably spend a little. I would have liked to at least have like the character creation for that, so I could take screenshots of the sliders maybe and pre-plan my character. But that'll be what once we reserve the names, that'll be what happens. Character creation screen for a couple hours just to make sure everything's right.
Bruce?
I'm going to be jumping right in. I already know roughly what my char is going to look like. I'm going to be jumping in, getting my tools, and I'm going to just start exploring and gathering everything. I'm going to be hardcore crafting from day one, just for personal and guild economic boosts. I'm very big on that. I want to be prepared for anything we're going to be doing. I don't want to be half-assing our progression. I shouldn't say progression because that's not our goal. But I don't want to feel handicapped for not being prepared.
Let me just I want to take a second there to clarify that. Progression not being our goal, meaning that we are goal oriented of enjoying the game and taking our time progressing through it, meaning that we still like to progress in crafting and we still like to progress the guild and all that stuff, but when it comes to playing the game, we're not trying to rush to 80. I just want just in case people are like, you don't do progression.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry.
but I'm a little curious. You know what your char is gonna look like? Is it that easy to make it?
Oh yeah. Well, for me, I don't care that much as you guys would. I have a general size I want, a general look, but I couldn't care less what my eyes look like or what my nose looks like. It's just going to be a
You don't
random
care
preset.
about ear size?
How did you get into our guild? This is unacceptable.
I know.
Who the hell
I'm the
invited
black
you?
sheep on this one.
Get the fuck out.
But I have a general outlay. I'm sure once I yes, hands. I'm sure once I get release, once we get launch, I may put more time into it. For betas, I definitely didn't care for shits what my character looked like. I'll probably spend no more than 10 minutes on it, though. So
Okay, Brian.
10 minutes. That's a good amount of time.
It's a decent amount of time. Character creation is probably going to take me a little while. Definitely not anywhere near what it's going to take John. But it's the one part of the game. No, it's the one part of the game where I do like to RP like a little bit. Like once my character's made, it's just I'm playing the game. I could care less about the whatever story I come up with for my character. But when I make the character, I like to have an idea of who it is, and so that's going to take a little bit of time, but I've been using the betas to try and get at least the appearance down. Personal story questions is going to take a little bit of soul searching, though. Definitely.
There's some good questions there on every race.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would, if for people that are just,
it's annoying because it's one of those.
Good.
I was going to say, there's questions that don't have a right answer, too. I hate those.
Open-ended answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
No, there's a
Like
lot of
talking to a
there's a lot of questions on the the Guild Wars 2 psychiatrist. It's very wow. There's a lot of stress involved in character creation for you, it seems. You know what? I'm gonna just.
We need to talk about this later.
I'm gonna leave that alone. Actually, what am I gonna do when the game comes out? Well, obviously make my character, which will take 12,000 hours, because I don't know. I like to customize the ears. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, if you go to the forums, I have like threads on different hairstyles, different looks. I think I've come up with a look that I really like, and so I'm going to try to replicate that as much as possible with blonde hair instead of red.
No joke. He's got screenshots of like every hairstyle for like humans and Norn, and just comparing everything. He needs All he's missing is flowcharts. Bruce, get on that. Flowcharts for hairstyles.
Oh, God, I'm not making a hairstyle flowchart. That is ridiculous.
I mean, come on. I got to stare. I'm assuming this game is going to have good longevity, and I want to stare at something that's, something I made and it looks cool.
Yeah.
Plus, it's nice to walk up to a character.
Implement a barbershop of some sort.
Oh, yeah, that would be nice. But it would be nice, it's nice to walk up to your character and, you have a unique look. And I find when you spend a little bit more time with the sliders versus, just hitting randomize, that people seem to recognize you by look versus name title, which is nice.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely some things that stand out there, especially, I noticed with the Char, some of their, I guess, fur style.
Yeah.
With different things, so.
Well, like every time one of our guildies wholesale came up, he had the white Char, right? With like the spots.
With like the stripes or whatever? Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. Every time he came into battle, it was like, whoa, wholesale's here. And he was a guardian, so he's just like popping blue shit, and he's all white and crazy looking, and it was like, cool, all right. So that was nice.
Yeah, he was definitely noticeable.
All right, so our little irks aside, let's cover some stuff for people that are trying to prepare for release. I think we could take this in two ways. One could be we could talk about what you're going to do next beta weekend to prepare for release, but I think let's hit that a little later. Now let's talk about, let's say we're at release. So for the people that are just tuning in, we're at release. What do you do? So how do you play right away with your friends? And like if you pick a different race, if you're not the same profession, can you still jump into Guild Wars 2 and play with your friends? And how is the real question.
Well, the amazing thing is every character starts off in its own introductory zone, and it only takes you from level 1 to 2. Once you hit level 2, which probably takes about 10-15 minutes, just enough to get a general grasp, you're thrown into the world. And from that point on, you can do whatever you want. If you have a human friend, a Char friend, an Azuran friend, all three of you, you're in different spots, but through their handy-dandy, somewhat simple transportation system of going to Lion's Arc, you can then teleport to any zone you want to from the starting zones. So if you could all meet up in Lion's Arc, decide from there, hey, which zone do we want to play in? And then you go to that zone together from level 2 on. You don't have to do any cross-world traveling. You don't have to do any 2-hour run paths to get to each other. It's relatively instant.
Yeah. I think an important thing to note, too, is that a lot of people think we're going to jump in the game, we're all going to spawn in the same spot, and we're going to run around like crazy. And that is not the case in Guild Wars 2. In Guild Wars 2, and I'll try not to spoil this, but there might be like a spoiler too here. But when you jump into the game, you are faced with some sort of disaster or protection quest or something of an epic proportion where you're going to need to go fight a boss. You're going to have to do 2 things that are important. And once you finish those 2 things and you beat that boss, you become a hero, so to say, and you're put into the world now, and you can meet up with your friends. Sometimes you get put into that world because it's instanced, but sometimes you get put in with the guy that you created it with if you create exactly at the same time. But if there's a lot of people signing on, the likelihood of that happening is you won't. But don't worry, I see a lot of people that get in there and they get frustrated. They're like, how am I supposed to play with you? I don't understand. Just jump in the game, play that really epic, cool intro, enjoy the shit out of it, because after that 5 minutes, trust me, you will get enough of your friends to go around. Also, to go back to what you said about the newbie area, you can just join with your friends. What some people don't know is that right where you spawn, no matter what profession you are. Wait, I'm sorry, what race you are. I thought really hard and I fucked it up. Oh, drink, yay! Anyway, so wherever you spawn, whatever race you are, turn around. If you turn around, right there is the main city. In that main city is the teleportation device. And through that, and the main cities are huge. And in that main city is a teleportation device that brings you to the place that's called Lion's Arch, which has teleportation devices to all the other cities and starting zones. So there is...
Coolest city ever, by the way.
Yes, Lion's Arch is very, very cool.
Yeah, and it's a pretty awesome city. Yeah.
So if you don't get totally distracted looking around there, then you should be good. But if your friend, let's say, is still working on his character for the next 6 hours, it's a great place to go check out. Like me and Zach is. So Bruce and Brian can go check out the city somewhere.
I'll go jump off the diving board a lot.
Yes.
There is a very cool diving board in Lion's Arch. It's very cool. We won't tell you much about it, but let's just say climb up it and have fun. Look for goggles because they add cool things. Yeah. Explore, yeah.
Yeah, explore, basically, what we're saying there.
So also, it's like, so maybe you logged in. What if you logged in and your buddy's still at work? So, sure, you can go and play in the same newbie areas and stuff if you're both on at the same time, but shit, I came in and I'm going to go play, but my buddy is at work until 5 and he can't play. What to do then? Are you screwed? Should you just not play?
No, because you have your, as we discussed last podcast, you have your sidekick system, so you can sort of go ahead and do whatever you decide you want to do, explore, or do your personal story or something, and then when he gets on, you can just go back to whatever zone he's in and get sidekick down to the level for that zone and get experience and rewards for that and play with him and then help him get up to wherever you are. So it all sort of works out. You can always go back and go down and help people below you or whatever. As you said, I like to level really fast. So. And
it's true. Oh God, he runs, man. Whew. He's like my questing leader.
I'm like your compass. Yeah.
You are, yeah. As long as I stay with John, I'm good to go.
You direction.
He's like, we're going left. I'm like, but I'm looking right. And he's like, no, we're going left. It's pretty there, I know, but let's go left. I'm like, oh, okay. And then he'll be like, where are you, dude? And I'll be like, I'm over there. That's our conversation. We're like, it's like playing DayZ. If anybody's played that mod, it's like, is that you? Is that you? Are you there? Jump 3 times. Where are you? What the hell? What happened? Fun.
Exactly.
Yeah, but there's also other things that you can do. So let's say that you're waiting for your friend and you really don't want to level. You want to level from 1 to 80 with your friend or whatever, 1 to 10. Who cares? What is there to do? There are the city events. Someone here posted about that, and I don't remember who had the know-how on that one. Like the carnivals and stuff like that.
Well, there's a lot of stuff. Even just exploring your home city, you say in the human city, they had the traveling carnival. Someone will have to correct me if I'm wrong because I'm coming off of secondhand information on this one. But I believe there was a random cotton candy vendor. There was fireworks going off in certain areas. There was actually different music going off. Even if you don't want to level, there's actually still stuff to do and stuff to experience and explore. Say just going back to the Lion's Arc area, you could find the diving board, which you know what grants you 0 experience except for a minuscule exploration experience, which really isn't a big deal. But you can just find so much to do that isn't even game based, or even the keg brawler in the Norn Town. You can throw kegs at each other. There's a bunch of mini games around. There's something like 30 activities in the game that are literally just mini game based and just give you cosmetic bonuses or anything like that. Just nifty niche activities that really you can't find in any game other than maybe like a holiday event, which only allows you to do it for 2 or 3 days. So.
Except it's there all the time, exactly. Tristan and I, we were the one, we found, I won't tell you where it is, but we found a town with a little carnival going on sort of thing. You could buy fireworks, and there was a couple of different little, like, carnival event games or whatever that you could participate in, so.
For
pretty
hours.
cool.
For hours. That's what you can do. For hours. What were you doing there, Zacchus? What happened? Why don't you tell everyone?
As Tristan was still exploring certain games and everything.
It was more like Tristan was going, "Where do I go, John? Where do I go?" And he's like, "Oh, just go over there." What were you doing while you were saying, "Go over there"?
That's because I lost you. I was running around the town. My character was literally holding a giant keg of fireworks and just shooting off fireworks around the town for like an hour. Just running around in circles, shooting
All
off
I hear is
fireworks.
ba-boom, ba-boom. I'm looking in the sky. There's fireworks like in the fucking front of the town, in the back of the town, behind me. I'm like, what are you doing? Where am I supposed to go? Oh, God.
I was literally doing laps around the town, and Tristan's like, "Where the hell am I?" And I'm like, "Just follow the fireworks."
Oh, it's so annoying. And then I'm like, "Where'd you get the fireworks?" And he's
ridiculous.
like, "It's by the little traveling lady." I'm like, "Well, where's she?" "I don't know. She walked around." I'm like, "Shut up." So then we spent another hour running around the town looking for fireworks. Oh, man. It was like...
I was distracted by the shiny fireworks. I'm sorry.
I mean, but it's that
I
kind
can
of
help myself.
awesomeness that makes, it makes fun stories. So, I mean, we had fun with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
man.
good times.
The fireworks in this game are actually very, very cool, too. So, like, if this game was live tomorrow, I would have a lot of fun at 4th of July and such.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a shame.
All right, so
Oh,
we've covered, that there's a bunch of stuff you can do if you're waiting for your friends or if they're still character creating. I mean, one of my favorite things to do is to go into the main cities and grab waypoints. I know that sounds really stupid,
Yeah.
but these cities are
just
so cool looking that if you waypoints to me act more as guidelines to I should go from point A to point B and check it out because you can get those waypoints and then once you get to it you can just port right back to where you started. And for me, I like to be able to get around cities quickly. John?
And the fun thing is, if you see something cool, you can just go to that waypoint and tell your friends, "Hey, meet me here. I will show you something awesome." So then they'll get your friends into it as well.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing about the main cities. There's so much to explore there. There's so much hidden lore, certain things, just little hidden gems you'll find, whatever it may be, conversations between NPCs and stuff. We found some hilarious conversations in the game, and the main cities are just huge and sprawling and beautiful, I guess to say. So you can even just take time to explore it while you're waiting for your friends to finish character creation.
Yeah,
So.
Honestly, I know that personally, I always log on to Mumble or Ventrilo or TeamSpeak or some sort of talking thing with my friends when I play any game. When you first start this game, I would highly, highly recommend that even if you're in Mumble, if you hear something cool around you, tell your friends to shut up because it's interesting. It's very interesting. It's fun to go around the cities. I remember a bunch of times me and John were running around, and I was like, "Dude, shh." And these NPCs would have these conversations back and forth, and you were like, "That was really funny." So, or interesting, or it showed you, or it was a freaking event, and it was like, "Shit, we need to go defend over there. Let's go." So there's a lot of hidden little things within conversations. So it's very important to be aware of your surroundings in that sense. And it definitely gives you something to do while you're waiting. So
Yeah, we got shushed a lot.
there was a lot of shushing. Mostly because your fan was blowing my ear out. But anyway. So what do you do now? You're both in game. What do? You look for a guild. And what guild should you join? Not Bruce's guild.
Gee, I wonder.
That's a separate crafting guild for very strange people. But in case you didn't
I have
know,
one member so far.
It's a weird cult-like organization.
no, but in case you didn't know, our guild is recruiting, and our guild's name is Arcanex, and you can go to alttabme.com and apply. I felt like maybe like some soap or something should have popped up in my hand, like a commercial. I don't know, whatever.
Some soap?
In those
did you
magical
say
like
soap?
old 80s or 50s commercials. Did they have TVs in the 50s?
Arcanix Guild Soap.
Look, the guild is now diamonds.
Oh yeah, the guild is now diamonds.
I'm on a horse.
Oh my god, can we please make a commercial like that? That would be the most epic guild
That'd be
commercial
awesome.
ever. I'm going to figure out how we can do
idea.
this. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I know you are.
But we need
It's
to.
gonna happen eventually.
Oh my god! Can we just get everybody all greased up too? And yes.
We just got him a project. We just got him a really long project to work on. So.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
He's occupied until August.
I'm gonna hide behind my screen. All right. So John mentioned something about Personnel Story. John, what is Personnel Story?
It's basically your personal quest or hero quest for your character, going from 1 to 80 through all the different levels. I believe there's roughly a chapter every 10 levels or so, and it's not just a linear story. You have the choices in the beginning during character creation that will influence the story.
Can you tell me about that a little bit?
Influence. There's about 3 sets of questions or options for your character when you're making your character, and once you're done making him look all pretty and everything for Tristan, butterflies and whatever.
Shut up, you like it too.
Butterflies. That will influence how you start off your storyline, and then there's ways for it to branch off from there based on your choices and how you interact with the NPCs in the world. And I believe there's several different branches all the way up to 80 in the different chapters. So there's a lot of different storylines. You'd have to play this game a long time to experience everything between all the different races, all the different choices, and the potential branches going off in different directions. So if you're one of those story people, you have your work cut out for you. Yeah, we'll see you in a couple of years or something like that. So
I think they said for level 1. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to give the quick numbers for it. There are 5 races. Each race has 3 starting options, and by level 10, you have 2 paths. Just up to level 10, you have the 2 paths you can go through. So that's 30 story paths.
Wow.
Just from 1 to 10. And from that, it branches even farther. So
and
just to give you guys an idea.
Yeah, and there's 80 levels, so just sit there and think about that for a second. How many different ways you could go.
So I made my character, and I was, I'll use one of the examples. I wanted to go run away to the circus, and I was very sad that I didn't. And John made a character, and he was really sad that he got into a bar brawl. Now, they don't match up, but it says that we can play our personal stories together. How is that possible? Brian, I'm putting this on you. You're too quiet today.
Oh, wonderful. See, that one I'm actually not too sure on. That was a bad call there. Because I fell behind a bit in the leveling, so I was all alone in my personal story.
All right, Bruce, pick up the slack.
Someone didn't prepare.
Pick up the slack, Bruce.
All right,
One thing I didn't do my homework on.
I'm like the teacher that
intentionally
knew that, and I picked you on purpose.
Yes. Exactly.
Right,
Busted.
Okay, so here's what you can actually do. Whenever you do a personal story quest, it actually becomes a personal instance. You are separated from the world at that point, so you can do this part of the quest. The people that you have in your party have the option of joining you on your personal story. Afterwards, you can also do someone else's personal story, so you can actually experience. Say you have a group of 5 people who have all different personal stories. You can do each person's personal story, and you get 5 scenarios, and you only played your one character through all 5 of them. That way, you don't have to recreate a ton of characters just so you can get all the story. You can play one character and experience all the story in the game, but chances are you're going to have a lot of friends that are playing a lot of different characters.
I don't have friends.
If you're in a guild, you can probably do that. Anyways, but yeah, that's hey, you're not the only one that can plug. But yeah, I mean, you can experience all the story as long as you have someone that's playing the story. I'm sure at some point in game you'll see some channels, some random people that are like, hey, I'm doing the personal story for X class at X branch, so you can see it. I'm sure there'll be people posting on forums over time, so maybe you can find a chain gang to do all the different sections. That's something that we'll probably do up in our guild too. We'll do personal stories and our progress of X chapter. So
where we are, so that if you want to join in, yeah. I think it's a good idea because you personally, you know, it's like in the beta we only saw, which by the way you're in charge of now. In the betas we only saw, you know, the human, Norn, and Char stories. So if you did play them, that was all you could see. I'm super interested in joining someone for the Sylvari because I think that's really interesting. The little fucking rat people I'm not so interested in, but you know.
Oh, come on.
I will probably take a look at it just to laugh. When I want some comedy, I'll join someone's personal story from that stuff. But you know, that makes me want to make a Norn even more, just so I can step on them. Anyway,
they're the new gnomes. They are the gnomes of Tyria.
They're not gnomes. They're rat people.
That's one thing.
Environmental weapons.
They should be environmental. You should be able to pick up everyone and just punt. Boom. That'd be cool, actually, if like it was a jumping quest and you couldn't get to the next spot, you'd need an Asura so you could punt him to the next level.
Terrible joke.
Nice. Wow.
Lame.
Sorry, John, what were you saying?
No, it's just one thing I feel like I have a bit of advantage over everybody. And I like the fact that everything's going to be completely new to me when I jump in. To play Sylvari because no one's experienced yet. I haven't seen it yet. We've been playing every weekend, every stress test too. So, and we've seen a lot of the zones over and over again. Not to say they aren't fun to go through again. Char Zone is one of the I like a lot to go. I go back there over and over again.
I like
as
the
much as I don't really
stuff,
like cat people, but yeah. But I feel like I have an advantage to me that I get to experience everything fresh and everything once I get out of the character creation screen.
Which is a good example. So. It's like you know, John's gonna be making an Asura. a Sylvari, and I'm gonna make a human, and we want to play immediately together. And I'm going to go to his zone because we've decided that that's where we're gonna start leveling. And I think it's really fun that way. So the game definitely is new player friendly to play with all your friends and stuff.
Right.
Let's see. Oh, one more thing you can do if you're waiting for someone is after you finish the intro, which everybody has to go through the intro before you're really introduced into the world, is you can go into the mists, which are the PvP staging area of sorts. And there are practice weapons there. There's practice dueling areas there. You get all your skills and your stats bumped up to level 80, so you can go and theory craft your brains out and literally just have a blast. And trust me, that will take you time. So if if one of us is making a character, that will be a good filler, at least for the eyeballs or the ears.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, that's where I did a lot of my theory crafting in the betas because these guys kind of stranded me alone. So that's actually just quick plug out here for Rangers. You get all access to pets too, so you can actually read all your pet stuff. So you have access to everything for your class, not just gear and skills, but you have all your pets, all the necro stuff, what's out there. You can do everything. Everything that a level 80 would typically have access to, you can do at that point.
Yeah, you go from 0 to 60 in there.
Yeah, which is also a good thing if come launch you don't know what profession you want to play at. If you narrow down your list a bit, you can jump in, run into there, and get a feel for it at max level, see if you really want to put the time into it.
Yeah, I think that's important. I definitely, in the first betas, I did that a lot to just test out characters. Although I did notice that once I went into World v World, my opinion changed a lot. For instance, I brought an Elementalist into SPVP, which stands for Structured PvP, if you didn't know. It's like arena, yeah. And so I went into there with an Elementalist, and I had a blast. I brought it into World v World, and while I had a blast, I realized I was not as good as I thought I was and would never be. So decided not to go with that.
Really? With the, I actually had the exact opposite opinion on the Elementalist. I hated it in Structured, but loved it in World v World.
I realized that because it was, I did a lot of the AoE stuff, and yeah, it was cool watching the numbers, but oh god, once they got close to me, I was toast. Toast.
It's interesting how that works out. They're just like two different beats, structured PvP and World v. World. So,
Yep.
I mean, things can operate totally differently.
But it's cool too because you can play.
Totally shocked.
You can play. You can have a character that's just, structured PvP, and you don't even have to level that character if you don't want to. I find that you learn your character through PvE, and then you go to PvP. But totally different topics. Totally, wow, off topic right now. We are like, we just totally off.
Totally derailed.
Wow.
Yeah.
But anyway, go to the Mist, check it out, see what's going on. You can get there by opening up your character sheet, and by hitting H. That's the default button, and then on the left side of it is enter the Mists. It's really that simple.
The bottom tab.
Yep.
The bottom tab is the PvP tab, and there's a little button right when you hit it. So there you go. Step by step.
So okay, let's go back to we were on Personal Story, I believe, and your choices. So if I made the exact same choices as excuse me, if I made the exact same choices as John, for instance, we could play it together, but we would have to play it twice?
Well, you can actually choose two different ways. You can save it if you say you and John are playing at the same time, and you both have the same scenario. You could do, whoever goes in first, and you complete it, you can choose to either save your progress as his progress, or you can deny that saved progress and then do it over and possibly choose the different tree if there's the two scenarios.
So technically we could make the choices together.
Correct.
That's kind of fun.
Yep.
So, which brings me into...
And plus, if you...
Go ahead.
If you do choose to do the same thing, you don't have to do it twice. So if you choose to stay on the same path,
Yeah, which is probably fun. Although it scales, I think, for the amount of people you have with you, so...
Every event scales to the number of people you have. I think that's something we actually didn't cover much last time. We talked about how all the events and everything, dynamic events, they happen, this, that, and the other. Someone yelled at me for calling it random when it's not fully random. I apologize.
Wow. Personal vendetta going on right here.
I'm sorry that my interpretation of random made a couple people angry. But anyways, I explained and I clarified and I apologize. But
as you should have, asshole.
Say that you are in a boss event in the world, and there's 20 people there. It scales for difficulty for the 20 people. Now, say you have 50 people. It again scales.
Wait. Hold on. The dog just took priority over the microphone. Jeez, Brian, is that your yip yap? Okay, he muted. All right, go ahead.
He muted himself. Okay, so you have the boss event that for 20 people, it scales for 20 people on health, damage it does, and maybe adds that it has. It also scales to 50 people for health, the amount of damage, and adds it has. Some of these events do cap at a certain point, so if you have 50 people and its maximum scale was for 25, you're kind of gonna ram it. But some of these events do scale up to 200 people. For the personal storyline, maximum of 5 people, yes. Maximum of 5 people because that's all you can have in a party. If you have one person, it may be easy, it may be hard depending on your ability and your skill level and your gear. For 5 people, it may be really hard, maybe really easy. They're still doing some fine tweaking, but for the most part, it scales to the number of people that you have.
Once you said ram it, all I heard was hard and easy.
Oh my god.
I am on beer 4 for people counting, so I'm gonna.
Oh man.
From here on.
No, I'm sorry. That's my bad. That's my bad. It's not your fault. I didn't. That's my bad. Wow. Well, I think that's really cool. So what are the choices that you get in your personal story? There's something called dignity, I think, charm, and ferocity.
Oh. Whenever you encounter a I actually don't know all the specifics, but I do know a lot of heart quests, a lot of random NPCs, and in your personal storyline, you'll actually have story choices. Usually we'll have 3 categories between the charm, ferocity, and whatever dignity that it is.
So,
These
for
may
instance,
reflect-
charm would be like, oh, come over here and please do this.
Okay, I'm just gonna stop you. Dignity will be like, I'm the knight, I'm saving the town. Charm will be like, okay, I'm the flirt, and I'm talking to you. And ferocity is like, I just want to kill shit. I'm just gonna kill shit. So by the 3 storyline choices that I will actually, by those stories, you'll actually see on your character chart that there's the 3 lines, and they'll progress depending on your choices. That will affect your actual reactions during your storyline. It will actually alter what you would say. Everything's to an extent pre-programmed. I can't say random because people don't like that word. But it will continue the story on your reaction based on your 3 choices on what's the farthest.
So, okay. What if... That's interesting. So basically, you could be the jackass, you could be the seductress, or you could be just kind of neutral. Or no,
To
or like valiant.
generalize it.
You take the high road, yeah.
And so these kinds of things are all
Wow.
you don't just get from your personal story, you also get from the world.
Right.
Yes.
There are a lot of instances where you talk to someone, you talk to a random vendor that has a small mini story, and your reaction choice will alter your, I don't even know what to call it, your character personality. I guess that's probably the best way to
Personality
put it.
meter.
Your personality, yeah. All right.
There you go.
So, there you go.
You know what's really funny, John, is that you totally just
It's
pointed to
changed.
nothing.
On yours?
Yeah, on your screen, maybe.
It changes based on dialogue choices and actions, but I've also read that supposedly you can use karma to do temporary changes, like if you want to see a particular reaction in a storyline. I haven't seen that in my own gameplay, but could be an interesting option.
Yeah, I
also-
haven't experienced that.
Yeah.
I also know that Bruce sort of mentioned it, but I haven't seen it myself either. Like I said, I stayed away from Personal Story just not to spoil anything in the betas. But I've heard rumors that there's actually even just vendors out there they'll react to you differently based on your personality and stuff. Someone was saying that certain vendors, I don't know if they changed it, or certain vendors would even, if you were you had high ferocity, you were just like a jerk, some of them would cower away from you and not talk to you and stuff, so... I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if it's there for sure.
That's awesome, though.
So if you're really
Well, it
charming,
sounds awesome.
they'll bring
That's
you
awesome.
upstairs.
Yeah, it sounds awesome, though. I haven't seen it for everybody out there who's going to say it's not in there or whatever, so I don't know yet, but there's rumors that that's in there. So.
That's really cool.
Rumors and hopes. Hopes.
Yes,
And it's
exactly.
Also, I mean, we mentioned earlier, there's the 3 different personality traits, but it's also not simply a matter of which one you have the highest in. There's different personality types that are based on the ratios. Like you can be all the way ferocious, you can be all the way charming, or you can be half ferocious, half charming, and it'll actually have different conversation options based on that mix.
Oh, good. Because when I was playing, I actually just had a pure ferocity the entire time, and it just kind of
Not surprised by that at all.
Being an asshole is just a lot of fun.
It's just
It's
easy.
because you
It's
sick
the
your
easiest
pig
thing you
on
can do.
everyone.
It eats things.
His pig is very charming. I don't know. Personally, I felt very charmed by his pig.
Can we
Pig is a
call
chick
her
magnet,
Wiggly
I
Boot
guess.
the name that she has been given?
No, it's
Wiggly
a
Boot.
girl now. I thought it was a guy. When did it change? What has happened?
No, it's always been a girl.
Did
It's
you?
always been a girl. I
you
need
just
her to breed.
you just
I
wanted
need-
some
I need
bacon.
a- I need a flock of pigs.
If it was a guy pig,
Is
that
that
just
A flock of pigs.
You have a flock.
This is turning
It's a
into
flock of pigs.
this is turning into a sick obsession. I think we need to get you help.
This isn't even a podcast anymore. I don't even know what this is. I think we should do
please.
intervention, guys. We have them here.
Yeah, we could. It's a video intervention.
true.
We need
So-
to talk, Bruce.
All right. All right. All
We all
right.
love you, kind of.
Derailed again.
Wow. So, just as a recap, the idea here is that when you're making your character, there are going to be choices after you pick all your aesthetic parts. They will be in the form of charm, ferocity, and valor. Is that correct? Dignity? Sorry, my bad.
Dignity or valor?
Yes.
Dignity. So
Dignity.
you have
It's
3
dignity.
choices, and they will present it to you. It'll say your character, blank spot, because of this, and then they'll have story, and you have to read it. And I would really, if you enjoy the story of your character, even if you don't, I would suggest you take some time to go through those and pick something that you'd like, or you think would be funny, or is entertaining, because this will stick with you, even though your actions in the world and in your personal story will change what your personality is. Your first choices will affect your gameplay in the beginning, and this is from 1 to 80. So pick stuff that you think you want to do, because I think it's a big part of the game. And one of the cool things about the personal story is that while you're doing your personal story, so it's instanced. However, it brings you to places in the actual world before you enter that instance. So the personal story actually acts as a guide through the world for you, and it intentionally brings you through dynamic events. It intentionally brings you through heart quests. It brings you to some of the cooler things in the game on your way. So definitely take it seriously and check it out. You don't have to be hardcore RP to enjoy it. It's like playing a single player game or something like that. But it will affect you.
If Tristan can enjoy it, who doesn't read anything, then anybody can enjoy it pretty much.
Oh, I'm so glad you just said that. That's so awesome, because I wanted to read something to everyone that I had read today. Oh, that was awesome timing. I love you so much.
Story time.
Is the world on fire outside? I don't know what's going on over there.
Certainly feels like it.
No, but I think this is important. This kind of sums up what they were going for with Personal Story, and none of us can say it better than the ArenaNet guys, because to be honest, their blogs have been nearly 95% accurate.
Phenomenal.
They don't bullshit. There's no fluff. So. Yeah, but how like some stuff they'll be like, it's
things.
Like the Secret World, for example. It's the most epic combat ever, and you get into the game, and everybody's like, I'm a robot. What the fuck? So, but
they don't really toot their own horn, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just going to read what he says. He says, as an overall takeaway about Personal Story and Guild Wars 2, I'd say the most important thing to keep in mind is that Tyria is a vast place with many stories being told in many ways. When you're playing through the game, you're going to see an amazing open world with plenty to do. But you also get to play through the equivalent of a full-fledged single-player RPG into which you can bring your friends in order to experience it together. The diversity of gameplay you experience in these storylines is truly varied. Whether you're chasing a mystic creature through an undead-infested swamp, going undercover as a pirate and competing in a body-drinking contest, playing a bit of tower defense with turrets and troops against an onslaught of invading ghosts, sneaking through a city at night, yada 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 yada, you're going to find a lot to enjoy as you experience your character's own personal story. So basically, they have added what we have always wanted, a single-player section of a game that you can bring your buddies in to enjoy with you. And I think that's really important. By the way, a lot of those examples actually exist in the game. I've experienced 1 or 2 of those. So I just thought that was kind of cool.
Sums it up pretty well.
Yeah.
It's interesting, too, because with a lot of... like the really blockbuster single-player games, there's always talk about people wanting to turn them into MMOs, but it's nifty to see that they're jumping straight into that.
Yeah,
they built the game with that part in mind.
I like it.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about what we are doing as a guild to prepare for the release.
Flowcharts? Lots of flowcharts.
Flowcharts.
And lots.
I have built a lot of flowcharts, a lot of graphs, and I'm still in the process of making more. All for you guys. Not for me, because I know it. All for you guys.
Well, how does a guild go about, preparing for a game that hasn't released yet? What do we do? How does wait. Let me rephrase. And obviously, this is directed at you because you're in charge of a lot of it. But in Guild Wars 2, there's a lot of different guild oriented progression and ways to prepare that are actual game mechanics instead of just getting 30, 40 people together and being like, we're a guild, yeah. Now what?
All right, I'll take your introduction as that, and I'm assuming you want me to talk about influence and all that other fun stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry to just cut you off, but I've had enough. So, what the main purpose for the guild is? A guild is obviously a gathering of people with like-minded goals, this, that, and the other, friends to talk to, people to hang out with, people to meet.
This is what you decided to start with?
Let the man
I just wanted to get. All right, I just wanted to get down to the nitty-gritty numbers part because that's what I enjoy.
Oh,
I love you guys, don't get me wrong, but we all know that's part of a guild. The guild part in Guild Wars that is unique to other games, that's our podcast reasoning, the influence system. There's actually a 4-tier leveling system within the guild. In WoW, you had all the guild achievements, and those gave you cool things. This takes it to another step. This takes it to where everything you do while taking the guild that you're in, you can be in multiple guilds, you can talk to multiple people, but you're always flagging just one guild as
representing one guild.
Representing, thank you. When you are representing that guild, everything you do, every quest, every activity, you are gaining influence for that guild. If you're playing with other people, your influence gain will increase, and then you'll have this extra currency, same as karma, gold, or any of this other stuff, but it's specifically for guild use. There are 4 tiers. There's a PvP tier, an economy tier, an architecture tier, which is for like guild banks and stuff of that sort, and a resource tier. PvP, by using influence, you can advance your worldview world bonuses. You can take over a fort, and you can brand it as Arcanix, and you can grant buffs for people that are defending that fort, and you may have a 10% experience gain, a 10% karma gain, glory extra gain. Is glory even part of Worldview World?
I don't think so. No, it's
not.
not.
I believe it's just structured PvP.
Yeah, it's just structured.
Right. Karma, experience, gold. There we go. That's the other one. Gold. And magic finds. That's what you do for the PvP tier. The economy tier is, it grants you bonuses for, in the world. Not just in Worldview World, but outside of Worldview World in the PvE world. Again, magic find, experience gain, this, that, and the other. Crafting gain. That's going to be one of our big things. We're going to be doing a lot of extra crafting, a lot of extra resource gain, because that's my main thing. In the architecture, that's how you build your guild vaults, your guild banks, access to training in more than one influence purchase at a time, and then you have I already forgot what was the last one.
You were talking about architecture.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you forgot it. Okay.
I just did that.
That's right. Basically, the idea behind this is that there are a lot of things you can do within the guild that help to benefit the guild, and not in a way where if you have 1,000 guild members, you're the best. If you have 40 really good players or 10 really good players, your guild will be successful. Because their contribution to the game, not you have to give 10% of all your earnings to the guild bank kind of shit.
No.
Or you have to make these potions and hand them off to the guild officers so that they can go steal them and give them to their alts. It's none of that. It's more of a an actual built-in working system, and it benefits from the amount of work you put in to the game.
Right. It's a community working together, gaming community advantages. You're working together, and you will benefit together because of this system. That's probably the better way to put it. If you're looking for the out-of-game community experience, I mean, we talk to each other all the time. We theory craft. We talk about all of our events. We're making weekly events, scavenger hunts and tournaments and this, that, and the other. Someone mentioned a diving board competition, just plugging that back for the Alliance arc. Fun stuff. I mean, it adds another element to the game that you wouldn't normally find. It gives you the advantage of playing with people and playing with people with the same goals in mind.
Yeah, well, it's cool because it's like, you know, I talk about Ultima Online a lot and how that to me will always be the ultimate, no pun intended, MMO to me. But the reasoning behind that is because Ultima Online's gaming system was built around the idea that the work you put in was visible work you get out. So if you went out into the woods and you chopped down a tree, you went and built furniture for a house. Now that wasn't, you know, oh yay, game mechanic, look, I can have some furniture. That wasn't necessarily the cool thing. If you used your imagination, and that's where, you know, guild out of game and stuff like that comes into play. But if you used your imagination and used the world around you, like for instance Lion's Arch, the diving board, we can have a competition with the diving board. Yeah, sure, it's in the game, and yeah, sure, you can jump off of it. But if you apply a little bit of human connection to it, you can start, you know, adding some real fun to it. And that to me is what other games weren't able to do. And then add on top of that the idea that you now can also, while in game, be working towards bettering the guild in terms of bonus points, bonus, you know, experience, karma, all this stuff that actually helps your character and helps everybody progress. That to me is the ultimate reason to be in a guild in Guild Wars 2. Also, you can be in multiple guilds in Guild Wars 2 if you really want to.
Yes.
Which is very cool because I know sometimes that, let's say, my cousins come on and, you know, they're very racist, so I don't want them in my real guild. So I, you know,
Wow.
I make, you know, the racist slur anonymous guild for them, and, you know, we hang out every now and again and talk. Love you guys.
Maybe on a different server too. You just visit them occasionally.
Right. I never put the tag above my head like this.
It also removes a little bit.
Go ahead, Brian.
A little bit of the pressure of having contacts and like friends in other guilds, because like in other games, there'd always be that question of, oh, will you leave your guild, come join mine? Now you don't have to worry about that anymore, and it takes a little bit of the drama out of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, and they are cross-server accessible too, so you don't have to be on the same server to be in the same guild.
I was just going to elaborate on that. You know, you don't even have to worry about that now, like, oh, whose server do I got to transfer? Now I'm torn between 3 servers because I got different friends. You can be in different guilds on different servers, and you can visit them for PvE purposes. So if your friends are like, oh, we're going to go do this dungeon, you can join them on the other server and go do the dungeon with them without having to transfer anything or worry about anything. You can just go join them on that server and do the dungeon, and then come back to your original server for a World v. World and represent. So
yeah, which is actually I think that's one of the coolest features in the game. I mean, it makes a lot of sense that you can't go into World v. World because that wouldn't be fair. But it makes a lot of sense.
Oh, it'd be totally unbalanced.
I should be able to play a game that I paid for with anybody I want to, at any time.
Anywhere, yeah.
Right, yeah.
So, especially, you know.
Which is great.
Yeah. Okay. So, you've got your guild. You logged into the game. You made an epic personal story. You started going out on it. You started playing with your friends' personal stories. And all of a sudden, you're running around, going to the next personal story point, and you're like, ooh, it's a pretty tree. Ooh, I can click on it. Oh, nothing happened. How do you pick professions? Bruce.
Oh boy.
I'm assuming this one's geared towards me again. All right. I'll frontline this
Well,
one again.
I'll help you with it. I'm just, I like you to kickstart these.
Okay. As I mentioned before, my super quick...
I don't know anything. I have to leave all my questions with you guys. I'm stupid. I'm leaving. Fuck this.
Alright. Well, apparently he's taking a pee break and I'm jealous.
That was my kitty cat.
So there are 8... there are 8 crafting choices. The 3 weapon choices, the 3 armor choices, jewel crafting and cooking. I went across those real quickly before. There's the 3 gathering, which has a sickle, an axe, and a pickaxe, and you can always gather every 3 thing. You are kind of limited to having 2 professions. You're limited to 2 professions at a time. You can switch between these professions at any time for a cost, but you can effectively level all 8 choices. You can master all 8, but you can only have 2 at a time. Now, what I recommend for most people is either choose that benefits your class or choose what you want to enjoy doing. A lot of people have different views of economy and this, that, and the other, but you know what? It really comes down to it, economic and personal.
Yeah, it does.
And do what you believe is best.
Usually the personal being, let's say you're a caster, you would probably pick something that you could make cloth and some sort of a weapon that fits your profession, such as staff. Money crafts are usually, when he said economy, he means like, being able to sell stuff on the auction house or making money via your craft, and usually those are cooking because they can be used at any time to give you temporary buffs, as well as jewel crafting because people are always getting new armor and they always need to put jewels in their armor. So those are the 2 money makers, and they're also the hardest to level.
By far.
I just wanted.
Go
ahead.
No. Go for it.
I just wanted to clarify before we go on what Bruce said initially with the professions. You can level all of them. You can have 2 at a time, but you never lose the progression you have in the profession. So it's not like WoW or any other game where you drop the profession, guess what? You decide you want to go back to it for whatever you're rating, and you need those flasks. Oh god, you need those flasks for rating. You can drop it and go back to it and pick it up at max level, whatever you created, whatever you've discovered or whatever, what patterns, and just pick it right up again and make stuff. So that's another, I guess, unique feature, because I haven't seen it anywhere else. Unique and cool feature about the crafting professions is you never lose your progression in said crafting profession, even if you switch out of it. You can only have 2 active at a time, though, like Bruce said. So
you said profession
so
many times.
I'm going to throw this out there, though. I'm just going to throw this out there real quick, just as a personal note to people. You can be level 1, or level 2, I should say, because you can't be level 1 to start crafting. But at level 2, you can actually max level any craft. I will be personally making 4 characters right off the bat that I already know I'm going to be making, and giving each of them 2 professions, so I'll never have to switch. Obviously, that's a personal thing, but it's a noteworthy thing that you might want to look into.
So one of the things we did mention in the last podcast, and I'm just going to briefly touch on it since we're kind of talking about what to do when you first start playing, make sure you, and I'm sure you talked about it already, but I want to just drive it home, make sure you have the tools to cut down the tree, to mine the node of mineral, or to pick the pretty flowers.
Blueberries.
Where
and salvage armor and things.
Oh,
you need
salvage armor kits.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you don't have these things and you are a part of Arcanix, I will give you hell. Just flat out. I'm a very. I hate to use this word, but this is going to be my Nazi thing. I will hurt you if you do not have these things on you. Just.
Bruce is doing daily bag checks.
And I mean, there is a vendor that will sell them like right near the starting area, and they're pretty cheap. I mean,
cheap.
It's one of the first things you pick up, before you go out. Because if you don't, you're going to come across a gathering node, and it's going to drive you nuts because you didn't have it.
Good news
And
is
by
that
gathering
everybody
things, you
can
also
gather
gain
it together.
experience.
Oh yeah, you gain
Yeah.
it. You gain.
Yeah, the experience is big too.
Oh, okay. No, so you can gather. So gathering, you can any node. Everybody that sees the node can gather from it. It doesn't disappear. It is unique to you, and everything you gather, you gain experience from. Also, you have a chance to pick up jewels that you can use on your weapons, and they are already set. So, non-jewel crafters, this is a great way to get little tiny buffs to your weapons and your armor.
Yep.
And to sell for, too, because there will be a lot of people looking for these things, especially early on. So that's a quick money boost for you people that are always low on cash.
True.
There's a Bruce can clarify this for me, but there's also different levels, different types of harvesting tools and salvage kits, which can improve your chance to get rarer crafting materials and items, right, Bruce? That you can use.
There are, I believe it's around 6 tiers of gathering tools. It will actually, for level 1, you can use the crude, the really crappy item. It's like 12 copper for 75 uses. It's dirt cheap. That'll be good for about till level 10. When you get into level 10 stuff, if you try to use that crude tool on the higher end stuff, you're going to get crap. You're not going to get any items. You're literally going to get gray vendor items. You will have to upgrade your tools as you go along, but guess what? Those items that you're gathering are going to be worth a lot more as well. So it's very good to stay updated on your tools, stay updated on your salvaging kits, and the salvage kits, say you put a gem into an item and you try to salvage it, depending on your level of salvaging, you will probably get that gem back. So, I mean, you can reuse it, just like in the current Diablo of the salvaging system. You always get your gem back. That's not quite the same in Guild Wars. You do need to use a certain level before you get that guaranteed, and nothing's guaranteed. There's always a chance of breaking it. So you always want to stay updated to your level. You don't always want to be using the crap, because guess what? You're only going to get crap.
Yep.
Yeah, and as Bruce mentioned, all of the gathering items have a limited number of uses. I mean, it's like 100 on some of them, so it'll last you a while, but that's also a good benchmark for when to upgrade your items. I mean, you're going to have to replace them one way or the other, so just make sure you're getting what's best for you at that time.
Right.
So we've now picked our professions. We are master crafters. We are master personal storytellers. We are master explorers. We have all of our friends with us. We have messaged Tristan for an invite to the damn guild, Arcanix, alttabme.com. And we are about to journey. What else do we need to do? And this is, in my opinion, the most important thing to do right off the bat. Open your character profile. Hit H.
Hero page.
Yep, your hero page. Hit H. Go to the little thing that has the die icon on it. Click it. Make your armor look pretty. Don't run around with newbie armor for 5 years. You can dye your armor in 10 seconds of joining the game. You could be in the middle of the epic level 1 battle against this giant monster, and you can dye your clothes because you are a freaking hero.
Lame.
Oh my goodness.
What?
I'm glad you're excited. I'm glad you're excited, though.
It doesn't match every
I'm glad that we
hairstyle. If you pick
implemented
red
this.
hair, you're like, oh, look, I have green clothes. Now I look like an elf. It's stupid. Pick your clothing.
That's exactly how I made my character look.
Dye your shit. That is all I'm saying.
Because it annoys Tristan. Dye it right now. As
Shit,
soon as you get
to
in
be
there.
honest, you can actually dye your armor in the character creation screen.
Yes,
Yeah.
before you start.
So if you want to, like, jump in game and you see fire flailing down from the sky and you're like, wow, I shouldn't be dyeing my armor right now, and you get guilty for something like that, then do it in the character creation screen. But do it. Play with it. It's fun. It will add a unique level to your character. I think that's so cool. I think one of the coolest MMOs that sucked was the hero game, the superhero game.
City of Heroes.
City of Heroes. Oh my god, I spent days in that character creator. It was amazing. Now, this doesn't have as many options, but it has options that will make you feel unique enough. And I think a lot of people can agree with me that those character creators in City of Heroes was really fun. So, no excuses, no excuses. Even if you look like a weird, fucked up clown, I don't care. As long as you went and tried, that's all that matters. Color outside the lines.
So basically, you look like you're a necromancer?
Shut up.
Yeah, and heads up,
I am
in
going to
World
throw
v
this out
World,
there,
if...
too.
Brian, go ahead.
Sorry,
Okay, I'll go. At the start, you have probably about, 30 die choices. You do get more as the game progresses. You get the die packs, you get the random drop dies, so you have even more later on for all you people that really want to get deep into it. I think they came out with 200 colors at the end of this. Someone else can clarify that number.
Yeah, a lot. There's a lot. There's a ton of different colors.
Yeah, so I mean, for you people that really want to make a customized character, you will have more than enough.
Stop!
To
I'm
these things.
I have to go to the bathroom. Be right back.
But yes, it's a lot of fun for the people that really do enjoy it. I apologize for mocking it, but it's not my shit.
Brian, you were saying?
Yeah, I was going to warn everyone, in World v World, if Tristan sees you and you're clashing, he's coming for you.
Oh, dude, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is good if I'm on,
important
like, the
to
blue
point
team
out,
and
I
somebody
think-
else is wearing red, and I'm wearing red, and
Yeah.
whatever. Okay, continue. Sorry.
With the die drops, you get, am I correct in this? I wasn't really messing around with dies, but you get seeds, right? So you actually have to...
No.
You don't just
They
get
took
it right
that
off
out.
the bat.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
They got rid of the seed system.
Thank
You
God.
get it right off
You
the
get
bat. You just get the die.
But it's
You-
character
That's why I
die.
didn't mess around with dies.
Yeah, but you get a die drop, and by clicking on the die, it creates a specific color die, and that's what you use.
Yeah, and it's
And
character
then
bound.
yeah, I
you
got
use it,
the-
it adds to your character. Yeah, so
I got
you
the
can...
seeds in the beta, and I was like, I'm not messing with this.
Yeah, don't,
Yeah.
for everybody
Yeah,
for everybody that just tuned in, there are no seeds. The dies that was an old beta utility. Now dies pop into your bag as bottles. You double click them, and it reveals what color. You double click it again, and it puts it into your inventory for that character, and you can use it immediately. Simple.
Well,
right?
it'll tell you what the name of the color is. You just won't be able to see it until you click it and put it on your hero page.
Right.
So, because some of them have really interesting names, and you're like, what in the hell color is this?
But there are like 12 shades of yellow, just so you guys know. There's a lot of variations of coloring.
When we say a lot of colors, there's a lot of colors. I mean, think of like 20 shades for every different like basic color. There's a ton of stuff, a ton of colors.
It's ridiculous.
Well, so since we're on the topic of vanity, my second favorite thing to do when I start any game is try to figure out where the best set of armor is. Where's the beginning set of armor that looks the most bitchin'? I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I know exactly where they are, but what I can give everybody a kind of like, this is kind of what I've heard, is that when you do heart quests and some dynamic events, vendors pop up if you succeed. If you fail, they do not. Well, sometimes they do, but you usually don't get something beneficial from it. But if you succeed a heart quest, a vendor will pop up that sells karma items. These karma items usually look very unique. I found that in the 15 to 20 zone, maybe 15 to 25 zones, the coolest armor drops from these karma vendors. I mean, some really epic looking shit. For being level 15, it's really cool. So
it makes me wonder what you look like at 80. Not to say 1 to 15 is bland. I mean, there's some interesting stuff. But once you seem to hit 15 and 25, things start to really get diverse, and everything starts to look even cooler. So I think it just gets better from there. I hope. I would think so. I mean, based on. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, this is also the quickest way to gain your utility slots of trinkets and rings for the earlier vendors. That's going to be really the only way you can get them is buying them from the hard quest vendors. So if you have that empty inventory slot and you're looking how to fill it, do the hard quest and look at the karma vendors. There you go.
Exactly.
So, we have our cool armors, we have our dies, we have our personal story, we have our blah blah whatever the fuck else we were talking about during this podcast.
Yeah, we did go through a lot.
What if you don't own? What if you? Whoa.
That's what you get for having a high-tech mic.
What if you don't?
Yeah,
I'm not the one drinking too. This is the bad part. What if you are? What if you don't have the game yet? What's the benefits of pre-purchasing the game?
3-day head start.
3-day head start.
And you know what? For the first time in my life,
beta weekend too.
Whoa, hold on. Feedback, somebody.
Yeah.
Brian.
Pause. Mute your mic for a second. It's gone.
Yeah, it's your mic.
Batty.
Yeah, it's bad. It's still
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, that's not me.
That's not you. John?
It's not me.
Yeah, I'm not the feedback. I've got the dog.
Whatever. All right, it's gone now.
Anyways, the 3-day head start, that was my primary reason for pre-purchasing. Never mind some of the beta stuff, which I'm really thankful for doing. 3 days before the game actually launches, you get to play. And it saves into the launch.
And if you listen to this podcast from the beginning, you realize even if you're 3 days ahead of your friends, it doesn't matter. You can still play with them.
Exactly.
So if you like getting in games early, do it. It also is good for the guilds because... What? Go ahead.
Oh, the game launches on a Tuesday officially. 3-day head start starts Saturday. Just saying, for the weekenders, big time. That's I'm mapping out days for that.
There'll be a lot of sick time going around on that weekend or during the week.
Oh yeah.
I think there's also don't they give you some items if you pre-purchase, even if you just pre-purchase the normal game? I can't remember what those items were.
There's a 3-day head start, the beta access, and if you buy the normal game, you also get a ring. I believe it's
ring.
+2 to all stats.
Oh,
yep.
stats.
Yeah, it's a good starting ring.
Yeah, that ring will last you probably till about 25-30 if we're looking at a lot of the gear. That item is also usable on all your other characters on your account. Obviously, you can't sell it to anyone else or any of that crap. But every character starts with it, so you can use it on all your characters. It's not one character exclusive. If you are to buy the Collector's Edition, which is about $20 more, conversion rates apply for overseas, and you also get a Glory Boost, a Karma Boost, and the Right Lock miniature? Or am I thinking that correctly? Or is that the
That's
Super
actually,
Amazing?
You're talking about Digital Deluxe. There's something in between Collectors and regular.
My bad. And that one gets the Spirit Wolf Elites. The middle one?
Okay, the best. Okay, well, for those that are completely confused by what we just said, the best way to check out what the actual things are, because to be honest, I can't quote them. Go to guildwars2.com or buy.guildwars2.com, and it will show you exactly what you get if you pre-order all the different types of games.
It'll list everything out for you.
But just know that if you pre-order even the Digital Deluxe, the normal game that you will, if you wanted the game, have to buy because you pre-ordered it, you get some cool shit. Simple as that.
Yeah. Sorry if I gave misleading information.
We have been getting asked a lot what server we're going to play on. We are not going to tell you. I know that sounds ridiculous, but we are keeping that information for guild members only. So if you'd like to become part of our guild and join us on our server come launch, you can apply at alttabme.com. But other than that, we're just going to kind of keep it on the down low because we would rather people didn't just join the server for, just to like be jerks or something. So
harass.
Yeah. Although the harassment in this game would be you coming to a quest hub and helping me. So maybe we should tell people.
Pretty much.
I'm gonna kill that monster for you. Oh, thanks. That helped. I needed that. Cool.
Go right ahead. Thank you.
Control me now.
So I kind of want to start wrapping things up. Let's talk about real quickly Beta Weekend 3. The last beta weekend before the game releases. If you own the game or if you win a beta key from our website, alttabme.com. Actually, you know what? I will tell you how you can win that right now. The way you can win one of the beta keys is you need to sign up on alttabme.com. You need to make a forum account, and you need to post in the thread for podcast number 3, which will be the topic of World v. World and PvP. You need to post a good question. The person who posts the best question, in our opinion, so this is totally up to us, but if you...
Yeah.
So
Guild Wars Idol.
Yep,
Judge.
exactly. So if we vote that your question is good enough and we add it to the list, the first person that gets the best question will win the beta key. We will announce that on podcast number 3. So once again, what you need to do is you need to go to alttabme.com. You need to make a forum account. You need to post in the podcast number 3 for World v. World and SPVP. And you need to tell us what you think a great question would be to answer for the podcast itself. If we like it and we use it, you win a beta key. Only one winner. So the first person that we like and enjoy the best gets that key. And that's really it for that.
There can only be one.
There can only be one. So fight. Oh, also, and obviously when you read this post, all the rules will be in there. But you need to also subscribe to our YouTube channel. So all the information will be in the post, including a link to the YouTube channel as well. Assuming you are not watching this on YouTube. Any hooser. Let's go back to the final question here. What should we do in Beta Weekend 3 to prepare for the game's release?
There's a lot.
I mean,
Yeah.
So I mean, let's talk about it in terms of what we just talked about. Starting new. And what I'm going to do next weekend or next beta weekend is personally I'm going to go through the character creating selection, and I'm going to look at the sliders, and I'm going to make my character what I want it to look like, and then I'm going to take screenshots of those sliders. And so when it comes to making my character, I can do it as quick as possible because I'll have exactly where it needs to go. I'll know what my hair color is. I'll know what the style is. I'll know where my lips look like, blah, 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 blah. And it'll be set to go. And I'm really going to take a look at the personal story questions so that I get an idea of what I really want to do. Because I don't know if I want to join the circus or if I want to look for my dead sister. I'm not sure which one is more important yet.
And those are not made up.
Those are real.
It's completely out of the game.
Dead sister,
yeah.
carnival.
See what I mean about psychiatrist? Yeah. Yeah.
There's some Freudian shit in there somewhere, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
A lot of penises.
So, whoa. What game are you playing?
Well, didn't you know a lot of Freudian... sorry, that's a whole nother story. Freudian had a lot to do with penis envy and all that other stuff. I took a psych class in college.
Okay.
Nice.
Anyways, again, that's an edit out part.
I'm not editing. And nothing is getting edited in this. Nothing. Oh man, you are all done. Brian, what are you gonna do to prepare?
My next one, I've done a lot so far in the last beta weekends trying to get down what profession I want to start with. So I've done a lot of the intro stuff, the character creation screen, the different professions, different races. This time around, I'm not a big one for like getting the build for a profession, but this time around I'm going to go back to my thief and really try to bang out what I want to build on it. Like try and get an idea, like when I start at launch, what I'm going towards, what my goals are in terms of skill points and things along those lines, and really get a feel for that and try to be at least a little bit more competitive and practice not dying.
Nice.
Yes, please.
That's a good thing for you. Yes, please.
Yes.
Please.
Learn the dodge mechanic, please.
As much as I like getting experience from rezzing you constantly, it's a little annoying.
Yeah, I don't know how much. That's why I haven't worried about builds so far, because everything I've tried, I've just been dead. And all builds look the same on the ground. Broken, shattered dreams.
Wow. Well, and everybody, I want to introduce you to Brian. Which way? Okay, Brian is our comedic relief today. I don't know. I kind of want to send you some coffee today. I don't know.
I don't
so
know
sad.
if I like that everyone's laughing at me dying.
It's funny. Hey, at least you have light in there. Although, John, somehow, even with the light on, it's getting darker through the podcast.
I don't
Not
understand.
sure
The
what's going
darkness
on.
is overtaking me.
What are you
I
going to
don't
do,
get it.
John? What are you going to prepare?
I'm going to make a final decision on my class, I think. I tried a bunch of different classes for the different betas. I like Necromancer. I do like Warrior, but I wanted to go back and visit the original class I picked, which was Ranger, just to see what has changed a little bit, maybe give it another go, because that's what I had settled on before I played the game originally. So I'm going to spend a lot of time doing that, and I want to spend a lot of the weekend, besides the usual, a lot of PvP we end up doing, is crafting, just getting into that a little bit more. Yeah. And I know I will never catch up to Bruce in knowledge, but I'm going to attempt to. So.
And there's a rabbit hole.
Bruce?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I'm not going to lie. I kind of finished all my preparation in the last beta weekend. I know what I'm going to do for my crafting. I know my profession. I know my froofy, how I'm going to look. The last thing I really have to learn is how to react to other classes. I've done a lot of PvP. I've done a lot of structured. I've done a lot of world v world. I need to learn more about 1v1. I know my group scenario. I know how to work with people behind me. Well, all these guys are that way. I know how to work with randoms walking around world v world, but I'm really limiting myself on not learning the other classes as much as I have till now. I read so much about them, I could tell you whatever you want for the most part, maybe excluding a couple specifics, but my reactions, that's going to be a big, big learning curve, and hopefully I can get a jump start. Obviously, it's beta, balancing, and this, that, and the other, so it may be for moot, but that's really the last thing that I want to prepare myself for launch, is my PvP reaction to other classes specifically.
Yeah, I agree.
Once he's got that down, he's going to spend the rest of the weekend frolicking in fields with his pig.
Well, and once we have our next podcast,
foraging,
we're good. He'll know everything there is to know about World v World and PvP. Next podcast, number 3.
Exactly.
I'm actually really excited for this next podcast because I get to, like, throw the fucking smackdown on you. Wait, where are you? Over there. Bam!
I look like I'm raising the roof. I don't like that.
Yeah, you're right. Here, hold on. Let's do like a balance on each other. Okay, that was good.
All right.
It's like you're pushing a giant hemorrhoid up into my ass.
Sweet.
Sorry.
That's
Anyway,
rough.
bleep.
Wow.
No, but yeah. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that because then I can do giant rants like you like to do. Although I'd rather if we just had like a big thing on personal hygiene and appearance, then I would just be like, oh yeah, heaven. So anyway, why don't we go ahead and open it up to questions from the stream? I've been seeing this thing scrolling, so I'm assuming people have things they want to ask.
Oh, sweet.
So go ahead and ask your questions, and we will answer them if they don't suck. We might answer them if they suck, too.
Please don't suck. Please don't suck.
So, I'm going to also type
I've had a full bladder for like 45 minutes, so really, please don't waste my time on crappy questions.
Well, they wanted me to rap.
Yes and no answers.
No, that's not a good one.
What do you got?
No, I'm not going to talk about these on the stream. Oh, man. That's like a ban right there. Someone wanted to tell us that you're crafting professions. It's not actually professions. It's called disciplines. You know what? I'm glad that he corrected that because we would have gotten a lot of shit for that in the comments of YouTube.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not perfect as much as I try to be. Yes. Thank you. I'm open to corrections.
So, always.
Basically, if you guys have any questions about, I mean, you could ask anything, but if anything about, starting the game, your friends starting the game with you, what you should tell your friends to get them to start the game, that kind of stuff, then we will be more than happy to answer it. Have you tried World v. World dungeons, and what is the best part of the World v. World jumping dungeon? Son of a bitch. Unfortunately, we did not, because every time we attempted to do it, we had major problems. One time, I believe Bruce kept crashing, and I think the other time, Bruce kept telling me it didn't exist. So...
No, that was in the first weekend, I think. This recent weekend, we tried to find it. I specifically found a video, and I was his tour guide. I crashed before we were like 10 steps away from it, and somehow he couldn't find it. We'll hopefully that's something we can probably do in the next beta, and hopefully give you some more feedback on that. We really wanted to, it just never worked out.
What are your thoughts on getting an elite skill as a pre-purchase bonus?
They did already specify that it won't be a game changer, and it's mostly going to be cosmetic and fun. It's not going to be anything, oh my god, game-breaking. It's just like the Charzuka for the Char racial. Hopefully that's not a spoiler. It's a fun utility, and it's racial, but it's going to be your class elites that are going to be the most beneficial combat-wise. Everything else, racials, out of game, any other utility that you may get, it's more for flavor than it is for combat efficiency. So, I have no problem with it.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I mean, I think I'm more interested to see what the racial elites are, just because I'm hoping they keep them balanced like they say they're going to. I don't know. Yeah. I have a special affinity in my heart for the Charzuka, but I will never play a Char.
Aww. Yeah, I just don't like them.
I don't mean you're always going to have balance issues. I think the big point was just that in and of themselves, they weren't going to be so powerful that even if they were imbalanced, it'd make a difference,
Right.
It's really just for fun.
ArenaNet's doing a great job trying to not make this pay to win. They really are trying their hardest to not make it that.
Is there player housing in the game, or is that different from player instances, and what is that? Player housing is not in the game, but every player gets, depending on their home city, a player instance. So, for instance, if you are in the human city, a section of the town is literally yours. And when you go in there, it's instanced. And depending on your personal story and how you've done it and what you've gone through, NPCs pop up. They start talking about different things in the world. And an entire world within your own personal instance in that city is formed. You can also bring your friends into your personal instance. They can see it. They can buy things from your vendors, and they can you can hang out there. So I think that about sums that up.
Yeah, it's not like in Final Fantasy XI. That's really the only game I have instance of where you can plop down items, you can plop down decorative things. You don't have your Moogle that will do things for you. As far as I know, there isn't much implemented in the game in that sense of decorations and stuff of that sort, but I think ArenaNet has mentioned they may implement something more interactive than what they already have planned, but that's going to be a future thing.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to see where they're going to go with that, because these games tend to change a great deal over time, and they already have something implemented so that there's areas and events that are specific to your character, so it probably wouldn't be a huge leap to add something like a personal home or whatever into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I want my Ultima Online house that I can customize every little pixel of it, build some chairs and trees, and put some stuff in there. That would make me happy. That was the new a vendor house. That was so much fun. I could see them adding housing eventually.
You'd have like
they probably will.
I could see it happening. I could totally see it happening.
So hopefully, let's see. Anything else here worth answering? Do you think the Guild Wars 2 release date was fair timing, or maybe a little too soon? Actually, let me nail that one first. I think it was perfect timing, and this is why. I actually wrote an article on it called Beta Fatigue. So if you self-promotional plug, go to alttabme.com and you look at the news section. There's an article I wrote about beta fatigue, and if you've been playing all the betas since they've come out, like I have, it's gotten to the point where I was just playing because I liked the game, and I was getting very upset because I was progressing and getting more and more and more, and there was very little for me to do that wouldn't ruin the game for me on release. So I started to get very tired of playing, but I also, in my brain, was like, well, this is the best game out there right now, and I really want to play it. So I felt like ArenaNet kind of had me in their grasp, and I was, even though it is a beta, I still felt very obligated to play every time it came out. And I started to get that feeling of not enjoying it anymore. And so, but that happened right at the last stress test. At the end of that stress test, the next day they announced the game coming out, and I was like, wow, perfect timing. So, and I think they actually used each beta properly, and they fixed a lot of bugs. The amount of stuff that they actually listened to from our feedback was incredible. So
thank you.
Not just things along those lines, but just optimization in general. I mean, of everyone here, I think I have the oldest computer, and I mean, even in the last stress test, there was a marked difference. It was exponentially smoother. So, I mean, they're really getting things together in time.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a question.
I'm always kind of I'm always kind of angry when people release things during the summertime because that eats up my summer, or right around Christmas time because there's a lot to play. But for having the August 28th, it's right in that good niche time where summer's ending and there really isn't much else out. So they definitely got that side of it where I can use my spare time and I won't feel worse or better because of it. It's a good niche time.
Yeah, I think it works out pretty well. Let's see. Can you have pre-made groups in SPVP, not for turn? We're not going to answer that because the next podcast number 3, will be focusing on PvP and World v World. And maybe your question could win you a beta copy of the game for the last beta weekend. So we're going to hold off on that. What will you guys concentrate? Hold on, there's like a siren of death.
Oh, I hear it this time.
They're coming for you.
Yeah. What will you guys concentrate once the game releases? Ratio between PvE, structured PvP, and World v World. That's actually a good one.
Yeah.
That is a good one, actually.
I'm going to...
It's probably difficult to plan that, because, I mean, you're going to be switching... we're all going to be so excited about everything that's opened up. I mean, personally... Personally, I'm probably going to go a lot more PvE to start, just to get ahead and feel comfortable with my character. But I mean, if the whole guild's in World v World, I'm going to jump on in,
Yeah, I think that's the cool thing about this game is that like I'm definitely going to be focusing on PvE and I think a lot of crafting because I just feel like I want to have some really cool stuff. And yeah, don't give me that look. Don't. What is that? What?
This is news to me.
I like the crafting.
You haven't showed any interest
because I don't want to waste my time in beta. Who wants to waste time making fucking clothing in beta? Oh wait, you did.
I only did enough to learn the system. I didn't spoil the creativity aspect.
Whatever. Anyway, so like I was saying, I will do PvE and crafting, but let me tell you, man, when I see that our server needs some help in World v World, you can guarantee my ass will be there. And I don't care if I'm level fucking 2 or level 3.5 or 80. I will be there, and we will be kicking some butt. Because we have enough people to have some really good organized PvP, and to send out scouts and to send out mercenaries and all sorts of stuff that we'll talk about in the next podcast.
Oh yeah,
good segue.
So
yes,
yeah, I'll be focusing my time on pretty much who is online at the time. I'll be joining guildies whenever I can, and I do have some real life friends who are hardcore. They want to do structured PvP, so I'm kind of saving my side time for them for that, and hopefully guild time for PvE and World v World. How it works out in percentage-wise, I'm not sure, but I already know whatever I'm going to be doing, it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. So I really don't care what I'm doing. It's going to be fun no matter what I do.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. No matter what you do, it's going to be fun.
So I'm making a prediction right now, though. At least for our guild, John will probably be the first to 80. I'm going to put money on that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take that. I'm not gonna take that bet because I'm taking my time.
Out of the four of us, that's definitely a guarantee.
Yeah. I'm not rushing anywhere though, because this is just like we said last podcast. What was your famous line? End game is the game. So there's a lot of stuff to enjoy. There you go, Bruce.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna rush at all. It's just that sometimes I have large chunks of time to play and stuff. I guess what it is, but yeah, I'm gonna take my time definitely, especially with this game. There's no rush into 80 to go do fucking whatever. So tier 27.
Would you
Tristan's gonna spend the most time on his appearance. Bruce is going to be doing all the crafting, and I'm going to be spending most of my time dead, so you're still probably going to get there first.
Without even trying this time.
Yeah.
It'll just happen.
All right, I think we have time for like one or two more questions. Let's go with...
God, I got to pee.
And then he has to pee.
Bruce has to pee, everyone. Hurry!
This is kind of a weird question.
Beer bottles there.
Yeah. Oh, no wonder you have to pee. Don't break the seal yet. No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, dude. Oh, it's been. I started drinking before we even started. All right. Fuck you guys.
Okay. If I could tickle you right now, I would.
Oh, I'm laughing and it hurts.
I think. All right. I'm not a big fan of this question, but I'll ask it anyway. Asura and Sylvari in Beta Weekend 3 speculation. I just don't like it because it's speculation.
It's not going to happen. They already stated multiple times before they even started Beta Weekends that they were saving those two races for release because they want to keep them fresh and keep some of the content away. I mean, that's the reason that you can't get the level 80 zones or whatever. I mean, people have gotten to high levels, but they're doing it in World v World just like all weekend, just World v World, not sleeping apparently, whatever. So they've already stated that that's not going to happen. So I don't think they're going to change that.
See, I kind of have I kind of have the opposite impression. I have a feeling that they might give us a taste of the Asura and the Sylvari because I think they would. I think enough people have shown interest in the idea of wanting to at least set up their character.
I don't think so.
And
I'll be happy if there's a character creator.
I think it would be good promotion for them.
I would be happy if they at least let you. I'd be happy if they at least let you access it in the character creator, just so I can do that. But I will not touch anything else. I mean, I will not get into the game with it or whatever because I don't want to ruin anything. So.
And they do have some press videos out there, too, of the Sylvari and Azura. So if people want to see it, there are, hate to plug other people, but I think Total Biscuit and Yogscast have it out there, that they do actually have some of the zone in video form. It is out there.
Older
if you
videos.
Want to see it, Yeah, they are old. I will give you that. And it's from a
I don't
press
know.
beta
I just get a
before
feeling
any of the
that
beta weekends actually existed.
I just get this crazy feeling. I mean, they picked a very long way away for that last beta weekend, and I just have a feeling that it's because they're going to throw in the Asura and the Sovari. That's my 2 cents.
It would be cool.
I think it's good. I think it's really good. I think it's really good promotion because people have seen the shit out of humans, Norn, and Char, and they're not going to get any benefits of having that last beta weekend. So, and who knows? Maybe they'll open it up to the public. I mean, maybe they'll open up the beta weekend to public. Who knows?
So, we'll see. Maybe. I mean, we'll see. We don't know, and we can't clarify, but we'll see.
Yep, that's all we can do. So, I think we're going to wrap it up with that. Thank you all for watching. This is John, Bruce, Brian, and Tristan from alttabme.com, like the key press, alttabme.com. We are opening up applications to our guild. You can go there and apply at any time. Please make sure you take some time and really tell us who you are, and don't just half-ass it, because we will notice and probably deny you. Lastly, for those that didn't hear it, we are giving away 2 beta keys, one for this podcast and one for the next podcast. In order to win a beta key, you must be subscribed to the YouTube channel, and you must go to alttabme.com, make a forum account, and post on podcast 3, which will be World v. World and structured PvP oriented, a question that you think we should use and talk about. If it turns out that we like it and it's a cool question and we use it, you will win a beta key for the last beta weekend before the game goes live. Simple as that. So thanks for watching, and I hope we didn't suck this time. And we will see you next time.
Hey, we were pretty awesome last time.
And and so you know, this is a weekly. This will be a weekly thing now. It is 5:15 p.m. on Mondays or Tuesdays, right? Because of jobs, we don't know if it's a Monday or Tuesday. But usually it's on Monday or Tuesday, with a definite release of the YouTube video on Wednesdays. So check the forums to see if we are going to have it at 5:15 on Monday or Tuesday for next week. And that's about it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, well.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your questions in chat. And looking forward to questions for next week.
And I gotta pee, so I'm leaving.
And see you next time. All right, later, guys. Okay, we're going live.
Already?
Yeah. Well, we could just shoot the shit, and people will know that we're live.
Oh, okay. So scratch asses now, and
it just gives them gives everybody like a moment, and I can also test to make sure it's working. Testing my fucking microphone. Does it work this time?
Good job, sir. I give you a golf clap for that.
Nice.
It's working.
Exactly. Nice. Yay.
Everything's working, actually.
Hoorah.
Love it.
Oh, this feels
Makes
laggier
me happy.
than Skype did, though.
What?
Huh?
This feels laggier than Skype did, though. There's a, I don't know, maybe it's just my end. Feels like there's a time delay between responses.
I'm not seeing anything.
Motion lag or sound lag?
It seems actually better than Skype.
Oh, okay. Maybe, yeah.
Maybe you're just too slow. Oh, I rearranged you people on the thing.
Maybe it's epic beard interference.
Zacchus is there. So when I want to be like, fuck you, Zacchus, it's this way. When I want to be like, fuck you, Bruce, it's like
dick.
This. That's like masturbating.
It's the other way. It's this way.
When it's Bruce, I get to do this motion. And when it's fucking
fuck you, Bruce,
Brian, I can be like, there? Okay.
Damn it, Brian!
Well,
yes.
John, Brian is below you.
Oh, really? Because on my screen, Brian's above me, so I would be like, fuck you.
Right, so I
and you're to the other side, that way.
Because I'm a dick, I rearranged it.
This reminds me of some retarded Hollywood Square shit.
2x2 Hollywood squares.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Gilmore Squares.
So everyone try to high five now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I forget that the camera's mirrored, so, you know, stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't even matter because we're all like in a different place. So.
Yeah, I thought that was what we wanted to do. Just.
I mean, I could technically grab a screen of just the square with, but then it wouldn't look as sexy on the new thing. So we're gonna go with sexy.
It usually works.
I'm
Good
sexy
idea.
and I know it. Okay, I'm practicing. I think we should actually roll. I think we should roll this into the end as like bloopers.
Bloopers, real? Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, there you go.
Jenny, I need you to get in here.
I'm
I'm not fluffed enough.
Jiggly combo last time.
I'm not fluffed enough.
Jenny, get out of the shot. Damn it.
Oh my goodness.
Here, you can go ahead. Walk to the kitchen. Nobody will see you. Okay. All right. Jenny's gone now. Oh no. Oh no.
What did you do?
You broke it.
Focus. Yes. There. Got it.
There you go.
I got like legitimately like sweaty, scared for a second. I was like, no. So we got sweaty.
Nice.
It's fucking hot in here.
You should just get your cat up in there.
All up in his grill.
Yeah.
My other cat just got its cast off today. Yay.
Oh, that's good.
What happened?
He broke his paw.
Aw.
Yeah.
Had to wait for it to grow back.
Yeah. It's like when you cut off a tail. It's
Yeah,
just,
he broke it off.
What is he, an iguana? What the fuck?
A big furry iguana.
Reptilian cats.
Reptilian cats.
Trojan man. All right. Well, it's
Ryan,
it's
are you,
about 5:15, isn't it? It's about 5:14. We could go unless you're gonna ask something interesting.
14.
Sure, why not?
Should we do like the final countdown music? Do 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 do. What's
No.
like the
No.
like the Sports
Not at
Center
all.
music?
Da-da-da, da-da-da.
No.
What was it again? That was really good. Maybe some like Guild Wars
Wow.
music.
How about we
You know
never
your
do a
ringtones,
musical
just start
episode?
them all.
We're all gonna fail right now, aren't we? Oh, yes. Hold on.
They got some good themes, so it's not like, you know.
Wait.
Are you just gonna play your
ringtones?
ringtone?
I could
Because
just
I
do
can
like,
do that
I
too.
could just do a hot intro, right? Just
I've got the Norn theme as my
hot intro?
fucking ringtone.
fucking hot intro. Sup?
Or now we're using techno as our intro.
Boom, 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 boom. What? This is so quiet. What? This is
Ghetto as fuck.